It's time for your U.S. Sailing video podcast with Amy Quigley, presented by Alpha Graphics. Design, copy, print, communicate. Visit them online at alphagraphics.com. U.S. Sailing, your passion organized. Find more information online at ussailing.org.
Hello, I'm Amy Quigley, and welcome to this special edition of U.S. Sailing's video podcast from China, presented by Alpha Graphics. The Olympic Games are happening right now. U.S. Sailing's team leader and Olympic Sailing Committee Chairman Dean Brenner is in Qingdao, China, where the Olympic Regatta is taking place. Let's check in with Dean.
Thanks, Amy. This is Dean Brenner calling in from Qingdao, China, from the Olympic Regatta. And we're at the end of our fifth day of racing here, and Team USA has just had our best day of the regatta so far, and overall we're doing incredibly well in a number of different places. I'm really proud of the team, and I'm really happy with our performance thus far. This Olympic regatta is located in a city called Qingdao, which is about an hour and 15-minute flight southeast of Beijing. It's a city of about 8 million, and the city of Qingdao is noticeably proud to be hosting this event. And the next step in this adventure was our trip up to Beijing for the opening ceremonies. And I have to tell you that from a personal perspective, that was about as special a moment as I've ever had in my life. The highlight of that trip was marching into the tunnel that would lead us into the stadium. And the Bird's Nest Stadium in Beijing is a 91,000-person stadium. And just as Team USA was in the tunnel about to break out into the stadium, somebody started a rousing USA chant, and the whole team took part, and everybody was excited, and it was one of those goosebump moments that you sort of hope you get a chance to experience at some point in your life. As I look back on the first few days of racing, and I look ahead to the last week or so that we've got here, on one hand you want to say that you want to treat it like every other event. That's not really practical, because it really isn't like any other event. And I'll start with Zach Raley and the Finn. Zach is a first-time Olympian and is one of the younger members of the 2008 Olympic sailing team, and really has been sailing a very smart regatta. He has been doing what we would call error-free ball, minimizing his mistakes and sailing in a very mature way, and he's been rewarded for it. After 7 of the 10 races, he's in silver medal position with a little cushion behind him. Looking at the laser radial, Anna Tunnicliffe is no shock to anybody that she's doing well. She's been near the top of her fleet for a couple of years now internationally, but she's in gold medal position with a nice cushion behind her and doing exactly what we all know Anna's capable of. In the Yngling, Sally Barco, Debbie Capozzi, and Carrie Howe have also been at the top of their fleet internationally for several years, so it's no surprise that they're in podium position. They're in a bronze position right now, but the Yngling fleet might be the most competitive fleet here. The Ynglings essentially had a 9-way tie for third. So it is anybody's ball game in the Yngling, but I have total confidence in Sally, Debbie, and Carrie. They've been on the podium more than 80% of the time that they've raced over the last 4 years. So they know how to get it done, and I think we're going to see good things from them. Now looking at the 49er, it's Wednesday, August 13th here in China, and Tim Wadlow and Chris Rast just had a day for the record books. People don't get many days like this in their career. There were 3 races on the 49er course today. Tim and Chris won all 3 of them in an incredibly competitive fleet. And then the other highlights worth mentioning right now, I could spend time on every one of our 11 events. The other one to mention after today is Andrew Campbell. And again, only 3 races in the laser, but Andrew won today's race going away. He won it with a wire-to-wire finish, and he is now only 10 points off the podium with lots of racing time to go. So definitely want to keep an eye on Andrew as the week goes on. As I think about the first 5 days of racing, and I think about the next week that we have ahead of us, there's no doubt in my mind that this team is ready to perform. We've been working really hard. The hard work is paying off, both on an individual basis and as a team as a whole. And I'm 100% certain that we're going to be proud of our results, and that everybody back home is going to be proud of our results as well. This team's ready to succeed, and we're going to be proving it over the next week.
Thanks, Dean. We're certainly rooting for Team USA. Make sure to check out the U.S. Sailing website at ussailing.org for the latest news on our sailors in Qingdao. And don't forget to check out the NBC Olympics website at nbcolympics.com, where sailing fans can watch the races live online and later on this week get special reports from renowned sailing commentator Gary Jobson. That's all for this U.S. Sailing video podcast presented by Alpha Graphics. We'll be doing another special edition from the Olympic Games in the coming weeks. Until then, I'm Amy Quigley, and we'll see you on the water.